Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another amazing episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He's the trackle dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. In the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always on the go. Catch him if you can. Said his name in Guyana. Now they love him in Japan. No cap, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And our special guest tonight is a man who recently graduated from the Nightmare Factory Class 1. And he took part. Not only did he take part in their first ever student showcase, he took part in the first ever battle royal for the first ever student showcase. And guess what? He won. I mean, and let's be honest, he wasn't at an advantage because you know why? You really want to know why? Our special guest tonight is none other than Dom Damien. Dom, how you doing today, man?
I'm good. How are you two? Thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem, man. Thank you for actually giving this opportunity to actually interview you, man. You know, we really and truly appreciate it. I don't know if you know, we've been actually interviewing a lot of people from Nightmare Factory. We've had most of Class 2 on here. We've had a lot of people from Class 1, and you know, we just look forward to talking to each and every one of y'all, man, as y'all make y'all's journey into the world of professional wrestling as well. So yeah, so you're in Georgia right now, right?
I'm actually back home in New Jersey.
Oh, cool, nice. Good old Jersey, man. Yeah, I actually live I'm actually in North Carolina right now, but where I'm going to be going to is actually Brooklyn, New York, and that's like right across the Hudson River from y'all. What part of New Jersey?
I'm in Bloomfield right now. It's in northern Jersey. It's like near Montclair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually I used to go to New Jersey almost every month at one point. There was a wrestling show there called there was a wrestling promotion there called PWS, and they had they would have shows like every month, and it would be in a place called, you probably know about it, Rahway, which was like not that far from New York City. And then there was another place they would go to called Metuchen. That was another place they would go to. And I had a lot of great times over in both those places. I enjoyed it very much. And yeah, it was definitely good times, man. Met a lot of cool people there and so on. But yeah, man, I mean, so you know, congrats on, you know, I know it's been months now, almost probably been 6 months by now. But congrats on, you know, winning that first ever battle royal. You came in there like a boss, man, and you just, you know, took them out, man. Like I don't even think they expected it. But you just took everybody out, man. But we're gonna take a bit of a time traveling trip back, and you know, I always ask, you know, pretty much every guest that we've had on here, but what was the pay-per-view, the wrestling pay-per-view, or the event, or let's just say even maybe even live house show or live show that made you become a fan of professional wrestling?
Probably my first standout wrestling moment was probably back in like 2007 when Jeff Hardy beat Umaga for the Intercontinental title. And I just thought it was so cool because, you know, all the, you know, big name WWE guys are like super built and like they really stand out. But Jeff Hardy was like, you know, he was his own character. He looked like his own individual. And it kind of looked like just a normal guy. So I was like, wow, you know, maybe I could do it one day. I became a fan of Jeff Hardy. I became a fan of like WWE. And then I just fell in love with wrestling.
Cool. Yeah, Jeff Hardy was definitely one of my favorites back in the day. Actually, at one point he had the tiger stripe beard and I had the tiger stripe beard too. I was like, yeah, you know, Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy was to me, was one of the first guys to make being different like cool. Like he was like just to me and I'm probably gonna get bashed for this and have people cuss me out and be like Remy, but for those of y'all that are watching us, we're all entitled to our own opinions. So please give me a break. Give me an excuse. Excuse me for this one, but I think Jeff Hardy was CM Punk before CM Punk was CM Punk. In a way, because and not I mean CM Punk obviously is a megastar and so on, but at the same time, Jeff Hardy was like he wasn't as vocal about it. He just like did his own thing and nobody really like, gave a damn. They were like everybody thought it was cool and so on, the way he was. So yeah, Jeff was definitely you definitely started off right with Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, you could definitely make that argument.
So
I see what you mean.
Yeah. So I gotta ask you, you're Filipino. By the way, I love that lumpia and pancit that y'all have. And I love balut. You're probably thinking, you gotta be kidding me. I love balut. Those y'all that don't know what balut is. Yeah. But yeah. So I gotta ask, in terms of Batista, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was going through your mind? I mean, you're Filipino. He's half Greek, half Filipino. There's another guy named Ezekiel Jackson. I'm not trying to sound any offensive in any way because I'm Guyanese. When Ezekiel Jackson won the Intercontinental title, I was jumping up, gun. I'm like, yeah, that's my boy because he's from my country.
Mm-hmm.
So what was going through your mind when you saw Batista with the WWE title, thinking, wow, a guy that's half my heritage is out there doing the damn thing and representing for us?
So you've definitely heard of like Manny Pacquiao, right? So he's like a superstar.
Oh, yeah.
He's an absolute superstar, one of the greatest boxers of all time, and he's also Filipino. So the way I saw it with Dave Batista, I was like, it was my friend who pointed it out because he had the star tattoo on his shoulder. He was like, or it was he has some sort of Filipino tattoo, and he was saying how Batista was Filipino. I said, there's no way. There's no way. Most Filipinos aren't even like that big. I don't believe you. Turns out he was, and it was just really cool just to see the representation in professional wrestling, and that's what Dave Batista gave a guy like me. And now there are different Filipino wrestlers like TJP, Falaba, and they're doing incredible.
Yeah, not to mention Joaquin Wilde. Although I'm kind of like teed off about that because I'm like, you have a Filipino, but you're not, using that, like you have him as, I guess I hope not trying to be Mexican, and no offense to Mexicans, but I always said this. You mentioned TJP, and I just mentioned Joaquin Wilde. I always was hoping, and I'm still looking for the first ever Filipino tag team champions in wrestling. I know that there's a place over in the Philippines that actually has a promotion. They've had tag team champions, but I'm looking for that over in America on a mainstream, level. And I think Impact missed out on that. I mean, they could still do it with Falaba, and I'm hoping they get sense and they're actually a tag team, Falaba and TJP. And I'm just hoping for them to be like, okay, let's put the titles on them, and then we have. But I always say, man, representation counts, man, and I know personally how it is to see somebody from your own background, reach an accomplishment that's recognized by people all over the world. I'm like, wow, this is inspiring right here,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, growing up and whatnot, did you ever get to go to like any like any of like the WWE like live shows?
Yeah, I've been to 2 WWE live events. One of them was the New Year's Day taping of SmackDown in the Izod Center when it was still open, and we saw the Brothers of Destruction versus the Hardy Boys, I believe. And then I went the next year with it was just a live show, and I got to see the main event of Edge, Undertaker, and CM Punk in a steel cage. and just the energy in the live events was something different. Absolutely.
Wow, nice. Yeah. So now that you've been to the shows and you're cheering your favorites and booing the bad guys,
Mhm.
how did your journey go from, or how did your journey happen from being a wrestling fan to now being an actual professional wrestler? Like I'm talking like being a fan, then going to the Nightmare Factory, and then um, being given the thumbs up saying you're ready to go wrestling, take bookings. How was that journey for you? How did that happen and so on?
So I'm sure everyone has had some sort of experience with COVID. So for me, I was a junior in college, and once COVID hit, I was really just thinking, is this really where I want to go? Is this really what I want to do for the rest of my life? I'm not sure, and I didn't really know what other options there were out there. So that was just like a train of thought for the months in quarantine, and then come around August or late July, I was just scrolling through Instagram, and then I saw Nightmare Factory, Georgia. We are accepting applicants. Apply. Maybe you'll be into our first class. So I thought, yeah, sure, why not? My old Taekwondo teacher when I was in middle school was a professional wrestler, and I thought maybe once I finished college I could get into pro wrestling, but nothing really. But I didn't really think too much about it. But then I saw that QT and Cody were opening a school, and I thought, yeah, sure, let's apply. I was thinking about this. What's the harm? The worst they could say is nothing. Just not reply, or uh, I just get a no. So I was expecting just that, nothing. But then after I applied, I get a text from QT saying if he could talk to me, and all I thought was, wow, this is like really professional. They're gonna, oops, wow, this is so professional. They're just gonna call me to say that I got rejected. Cool, whatever. But then he said, yeah, you're in. And the first thought in my mind was, I'm being messed with. Someone's gonna come out with the camera and say you're getting punked. But uh, yeah, it turns out I got accepted, and I ended up moving down to Georgia for the 3 months, and being a part of that class was definitely worth it. I was just so honored and blessed to be a part of that group, and now being a professional wrestler, it's like I'm having fun. I'm like waking up excited, thinking about what what's next, because I know that there's a long journey ahead of me, and it's gonna be hard. Absolutely, it's gonna be hard, but it's what I signed up for.
Yeah, yeah. But trust me, man. I know if you keep at it, man, you're definitely gonna get to where you want to be, and whatnot. And plus, I've heard a lot of great things about the Nightmare Factory, and I mean, the fact that you made it through 3 months of grueling training, intense training, that means that you were definitely meant to be here. And I got a question from a John Chan. He's asking if you're a heel yet. Yo, Dom, are you a heel yet? That's what he's asking.
No, unfortunately not. I'm not too sure how I feel yet being a heel, because uh, it's I enjoy being a face. Let's I'll just keep it there.
Yeah. All right. So the Nightmare Factory. You were part of their first ever student showcase, which I guess is a new. From my impression, it's now a new norm. Where, okay, you graduate from Nightmare Factory, now you got to be on their student showcase,
Mhm.
which is great because they're having people put eyes on all of the graduates. So who knows, somebody might get snapped up by WWE or AEW or Impact or Ring of Honor. That's a very brilliant thing for him to do. And then to put it on YouTube of all places where it's free.
Mhm.
That's a very brilliant thing that the good folks at Nightmare Factory are doing. But you were part of that first ever student showcase, and you were part of the battle royal, man. So what was going through your mind, man? Were you nervous? Were you like, yo, I'm gonna be in front of a bunch of people, and or are you like, man, I got this, man? Cody done hooked me up with some skills. Glacier done hooked me up with some skills. Coach Ian had my back too through training, man. Or it was like a combination of both, where you're like, I got this, but I don't got this. What was going through your mind, man?
No, man, I was definitely scared because the people I was in that ring with were no joke whatsoever. So it was definitely what was going through my mind was just how do I survive this, and how would I be able to make it to the end? So yeah, it was definitely nerve wracking for sure, especially just 12 weeks of training and then first class of Nightmare for Showcase. It was a little bit of a little bit of pressure, but at the end of the day, we went out there, we did what we had to do, and we had a good time, except for those choke slams.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. So you actually won, and you actually like were able. I mean, granted, you were nervous, but you actually were able to like fight through all that, and you were actually able to like be the last man standing, and you won, man. So, what did it feel like getting your first victory, man? I mean, it was a battle royal, but still, it's a victory, man. What was it like? What was going through your head at that point?
Oh, it was definitely something. It was an adrenaline rush, absolutely, but to get there was really hard, especially with the last person being the warden. Uh, that guy was huge. He's an incredible competitor and a great person overall. Training with him for 12 weeks, but then when I saw that it was just me and him, I was just getting ready to get thrown over the ring. So then when it got to he clotheslined me over the ropes, and then he turned around thinking I was eliminated. So I just thought, how do I get this guy to just come after me? And then when he turned around, I just gave a simple, hey, hi. And he charged me, and I was able to pull the rope. His momentum took him over, and I won that match. It was just 12 weeks of it. It just it was awesome. I there's really not a lot of words except that it was awesome, an incredible opportunity.
Yeah, man. Y'all could look back at pride. Y'all could look back at those days with pride and be like, yeah, it was tough, but we were able to pull through it to become the first graduating class. And I'm pretty sure there is a picture somewhere, probably probably on the wall, one of the walls of the Nightmare Factory that has the first class that graduated. So now years later, you'll look, people will be like, wow, that's the first class. Wow, wait. That's Dom Damien. He went here too. He's over in AEW. He just got done kicking what's his name's ass. Yo, wait, that's the warden. I just saw that guy in Impact. He just took out the Impact champion. Wow. Oh, so many. You never know. I mean, those of y'all watching, it may be funny, but the thing about professional wrestling is you never know where somebody's going to be in the near future, and that's why I like it. So yeah, man. So So in terms of your wrestling career now, what's next for you, man?
Currently, I'm training and working at a startup promotion called Spartan Championship Wrestling, and they've had a couple of shows. I've been there. Uh, I've been in a few of the shows, and I was in another battle royal for the number one contendership for the title, but Sneaky Heel got behind me, took me over the rope as I thought I won the match, but is what it is. I got to keep training, got to keep working, and eventually, hopefully, I could fight and hopefully win the SCW World Title.
That's cool. Smart Championship Wrestling. Were they in New Jersey?
Yes, sir. It's located in Cranford, New Jersey. It's near Rahway and Metuchen, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, I have to make a note of that and see if I can check it out. Because when I go back up there, I know once I move back up to New York, which is going to be in a couple of weeks, it's going to be like a matter of you know how the Northeast is. It's not a matter of what wrestling show is on. It's where you want to go to see one. Whether in your case, if you want to stay in New Jersey or go over to Rahway, or if you want to take the train over to New York and see what they have in like the city or the Bronx or Brooklyn. There's just so much to see over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So several years ago, I just got like two more questions before I turn it over to Rob. So
Mhm.
several years ago, my second to last question is, 7 years ago, one of your trainers, Cody Rhodes, he actually, when he left WWE, he had a list of opponents he wanted to face in the very near future, and he posted that same list on social media, and other wrestlers started doing the same as well. So who are Dom Damien's top 5 opponents that he wants to face in the near future?
Uh, uh, I definitely want to wrestle the Warden again. It was a good time with him.
Okay,
I want to wrestle Casey Rocker. I lived with him during our training, so I would love to share the ring with him. Uh, I would definitely love to share the ring with TJP and Falaba. And
okay,
actually, Falaba was actually at one of our shows this past June, and I was a little starstruck, not gonna lie. But yeah. And then definitely one of my coaches from Nightmare Factory. I would just be honored to be there with them.
cool, cool. Yeah, I definitely hope you get a chance to actually do all get make all those goals happen and whatnot. Um, that so I don't know if you've been watching, but there is a, and I don't, like I said, I don't mean to sound ignorant because
Mhm.
I'm very careful when it comes to people's cultures. Falaba and TJP have a broom, and they put like one hand on one, the other one puts another hand on. What is that? Is that some sort of like significance, or I'm just curious.
So I'm not sure what exactly you're mentioning, but if I assume is right, they have a what we call a walis. So I don't think there's definitely a significance of what they're doing, but it's just not coming to mind right now. I'm sorry, but you're good.
Okay,
You're good though.
yeah, yeah. So my last question before I turn it over to Rob is: you have the saying, "We are Dom." So where did that? Because every time I think of "We Are Dom," I think of one of the and like I said, I'm not trying to joke. I know if you watch The Walking Dead,
Mhm.
Rob, I know you watch The Walking Dead religiously. There's a guy called Negan, and before he became, I guess, a somewhat, I guess, good guy, if you want to call him that, he was a bad guy,
Yeah.
and he had a whole big gang,
Yeah.
and the, some of the guys, somebody would ask, "Where is Negan?" And the people would be like, "We are all Negan. We are Negan." So where'd you get that "We Are Dom" from? Is that from that, or is it like from somewhere else?
So actually, how that started was during training we would have we would have matches, and I was facing off against Casey Rocker, who was in the battle royal as well. And so in wrestling, there's a face and a heel. I was supposed to be the heel, even though whatever, and he was the face. And before our matches, we would give promos, but the way he gave his promo made him sound. The way they described it was he sounded really pretentious, and people just didn't like him, so they just booed him. And all I was gonna say was I am Dom, like straight to the point, and then I'm gonna go on with the match. So after everyone booed him, I was like, well, that's not supposed to happen. And when I said I am Dom, everyone like got out there. She's like, yeah, yeah, we are Dom. And I'm just laughing because that was not the point. And then the next day when we got into weightlifting, I walk in and then everyone just looks at me and goes, I am Dom. And I said, yeah, I'm Dom. So they asked if it was from Guardians of the Galaxy Groot, I am Groot, but it had no intention of being like that. It had no intention of being what it is, but it's wrestling. Anything could happen, and sometimes you just gotta ride the wave that you were given.
Yeah. Don't worry. If I'm ever in New Jersey, New York, and I see you at a show, I'll be like, "Wait a minute, that's Dom Damien." We are dumb. I'm definitely gonna start a chant like that. And if Rob sees it, Rob's probably gonna start a chant like that too. You know, if he's not doing his refereeing thing at the time. But yeah, we'll definitely try to make that happen, man.
I appreciate it.
But,
I hope you come by.
yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and trust me. I've when I go back to New York and New Jersey, I'm gonna be going back to a lot more shows. Not New Jersey, but New York, because I'm excited. Because, like I said, I know how crazy the Northeast fan base can be. I know how dedicated the Northeast wrestling fan base could be. I'm talking from like New York to New Jersey, pretty much the tri-state area, Boston, and even Connecticut. I know how it could be. So yeah, but best if I'm there, I'm definitely gonna start a We Are Dom channel. We're gonna make that happen. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn up to Rob. I know Rob has some questions for you. So Rob, man, go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Remy. So what's going on, man? How's everything doing in Jersey tonight, man?
It's good. What's up, Rob?
Not much, man. Just hanging out, chilling. You're saying you were from Jersey, man. I have family in Jersey, man. They live in Cherry Hill, but they're a little south of you, though. They're a little south.
Yeah. Are they okay
Yeah,
after the whole hurricane?
yeah. I think they're fine. Yeah, they're all right. Yeah. I think I haven't heard anything. They haven't, been like, oh, I've just been getting pictures like, here's our dog, or Elroy. He's exhausted. No. I'm like, okay, so I think they're good. So being out in Jersey, man, are you a fan? Or man, are you ready for Clerks 3, man? Are you a fan of Clerks and Jay Silent Bob? Kevin Smith stuff. 'Cause they're all from
uh,
Jersey.
not
Nah.
not not really.
Oh, okay, that's cool, man. I just figured I'd ask. They're always out there in
Yeah.
Jersey and stuff, man.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, man, are there any new TV shows or movies you're catching up on? Because I'm always stuck on the same stuff, man. I'm always
I've
trying to find
definitely
something new.
I've recently watched, what was it? Black Widow. So the Marvel
Okay.
movies, I was supposed to watch Shang-Chi, but I wasn't able to. Uh, Definitely some of the Marvel stuff. I've been hearing a lot of great things. Uh, if you want to watch a movie, QT Marshall's movie, Making a Wrestler on Amazon, it's a really good watch. Definitely super interesting. Um, Other than that, I watch more of like anime or kind of like game shows with my parents because they like watching like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, stuff like that. Um, I've been watching a lot of just wrestling shows. That AEW is getting really interesting, but yeah, I'm not really too sure about other shows.
That's cool, man. Now you're mentioning game shows, watching with your parents, man. Like Wheel of Fortune stuff. If I watched that with my dad, ever since we were younger to this day, like he can, they'll go on there. There could be one, two letters on there, and my dad's like, "Bam, that's what it is." And I'm like, "All right, that's what it is." I'm like, "Come on, Pop. Why have you never gone on to that show, man? What's your problem?" Like, oh my God, and your parents like that, you know what I mean? Like, why don't you do that? Like, why are you sitting here? Go on there and win some money. Get a trip.
Yeah, I would tell my parents it's good that they're not on because it wouldn't be fair to their opponents. They wouldn't get any money.
Mm. I remember when I was a kid during summer vacation, my mom was home one day and they used to play all card sharks. We got into an argument and like oh man about card sharks and it lasted all the way to dinner. My dad was like, "Look, I don't care about who was wrong or like man and I was like, "Yeah, but they're not going about nowadays. This is reruns. This is going about what happened back and this was like my mom was like, oh man, yeah." My dad was like, "Jeez, y'all can't watch Card Sharks anymore. It's banned in this house." Man, you know what? Game show I did like, man, when I was younger, man. When I got Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I used to like that one. That was a good one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Uh, Regis Kelly, but I forgot who the old host used to be. But yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it
definitely
was
it was a
Regis,
fun
but
show.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's the one I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good one, man. I was always like that. Like the $100 question was like in the Dr. Seuss book. It was red fish, one fish, two fish, red fish, and it'd be like, hey, blue fish, two shark. You know what I mean? Something like that. You know? And you're like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that stuff always made me feel good, man. So you were talking earlier, man. Your favorite wrestler was Hardy, Jeff Hardy, man. You know, you used to like watching the Hardy Boys, man. Who else did you like enjoy watching growing up, man? Who else were you like? Yeah, these are my guys.
Um, definitely Santino. He was hilarious.
Okay.
It was like a little spice, a little comedic relief, after the Cobra, a little bit of comedic relief, after like all the crazy stuff that's going on in WWE, the different feuds for the title. It's just nice little laugh was always good. It was always a good time, and I always like to see the creativity that they had. Definitely Triple H, Shawn Michaels, what they were doing with DX was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, all the good stuff, man. All the good stuff. Man, and I also wanted to talk to you about, man, your battle royal and stuff, man. You're talking about taking your choke slams and how long they hurt and stuff, man. Now, I've been training and stuff, I train, to be a referee and all that, the backs, and I've actually had to learn how to take bumps and run the ropes and all that stuff. I'm like, oh. And I took an FU, or seen as an attitude adjustment. I'm gonna say that. Yeah, I forget. Yeah. And I was all like, a couple of days later, I'm all like, woo, my whole body. How was it, man? The choke slam, man. Man. How long did it take for you to get better from the choke slam? And it was like, woo. That thing was like, woo.
Yeah, no, it definitely took a bit, but I think winning it kind of just lessened the pain a little bit. But then at the same time, I had to take a Uranagi, Black Hole Slam, one of the three Amigos right after the choke slam, and then I think a good painkiller was winning. Absolutely.
There you go. That's right. And I did like how you won that match, man. Where what's his name, thought he had you and all. He's like, yeah. I'm the man. And you're like, come on over here, use his momentum, get him over. That's right. You know what I mean? I was like, Kurt Angle, 1 to 3 eyes, intelligence.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to stand out too much because then I would be eliminated right away. So I just bided my time.
That's right. Now, did you get to watch All Out last night?
I did.
Ooh, what'd you think about it, man? What about the surprises and the overall pay-per-view, man? What was your overall opinion of it, man?
I loved it. It was honestly, me and my friends were watching it, and it was just like giving the fans exactly what they wanted, and just having the wrestlers having a great time with it as well. I just thought it. I love pro wrestling. That's all I was thinking after watching it. Pro wrestling is awesome. I'm glad I'm doing this.
Oh yeah, man. We were doing our little prediction shows and stuff, and I forgot all about Ruby Riott, or Ruby Soho. I was like, woo! I forgot all about her coming in. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, all the rumors about the people coming in, and then they just threw them all in on one night, and I just thought it was hilarious, and it was definitely unexpected, but a great feeling.
Oh yeah. I love that. Yeah, it was awesome. Adam Cole, man, I was like, ooh, yeah, but then coming out at the end, I was like, all right, so I guess Brian Danielson, I guess he's going to wait a little bit, and then no, that music hit, and I was like, okay, all right, yeah, here we go. Now we got some good potential matchups and stuff here too, man. I'm like, ooh, I'm a little excited, man. I want to know what they're going to do next.
Yeah, definitely. AEW has a massive roster, and I think it's great for pro wrestling. The competition it sets with the wrestlers there trying to level up their work, their craft, in order to keep up with everyone else. I just think it's incredible for the business, and what they're doing is definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yep, and then QC Marshall got to go out there. We got to see the bodyguard Austin Green, former alumni of the show. He got to go out there and stuff, man. I was hoping there was a Sheik of Diamonds that would be joining in too, man. But but it's all good, man. Maybe next time, man.
Maybe QT could have had some fresh drip coming out, with the Sheik, certifying real diamonds. That would have been cool.
That's right. Or just throwing out money or something instead of a bed of roses, just throwing out hundreds. You walk on the hundreds like or something. Oh man. So I gotta ask, man. when you were at the factory, man, what was like the best advice that you were given over there? Like, Cody or QT or any of those guys, Glacier, that they impart on you that you're like, all right, I'm gonna use this, to this day. You know what I mean?
Something I thought that was really interesting was like having your resume. Well, first off, having your gear at all times, but having a resume and business cards I thought was really, really interesting to have. And then I didn't really think about it because pro wrestling is like resume. I thought I would just have to do that for school, but nah. It's definitely something that kept me on my toes because there's a lot more to the industry that isn't really told to like just the fans. And then it's a lot of the business side of it, and then not just the business but a lot of locker room etiquette that you have to keep in mind. So that's something that has really stuck with me, and just how to maintain myself, especially coming back home wrestling here, uh looking to get booked in other places too, how to act, how to just make sure that I keep how I stay myself, and then how I can progress in this industry without stepping on people's toes or anything like that.
That's pretty good. Yeah, about locker room etiquette, chatting with everybody, all that stuff.
Hmm.
That stuff. Yeah, they told me about that my first day of training. What to do, I had to shake hands and all this. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. Now it all makes sense when I've ever met wrestlers back in there. I'm like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff, man. Yeah, that stuff. Yeah, I take. Yeah. But yeah, man. Look, if you're ever in Delaware, man, I help out and work with 1CW, man. So if you're ever trying to get out there, man, it'd be awesome. Hopefully one day, man, I can maybe rep one of your matches or something, man.
Yeah, one day maybe I'll make the drive down. Hopefully, if I go back down to Georgia, I could stop by Delaware.
There you go. Hey, man, yeah, your opponent, you know what I mean? If your opponent gets you down, one, oh man,
Oh,
the
nice
shoulder
little
hurt a
sport.
little bit. Yeah, you get down, I'm like, 1, 2, come on, man, here we go. Got to be on your toes, man. Come on, be on your toes. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we've had Cat Spencer and Renegade Twins over there. They've wrestled for CCW. They're like our sister promotion or whatever. And
Mhm.
yeah, I got to see them in person. They're actually like beating people up 2 feet from me. I was doing security, and I'm like, oh man, I do not want to get any blows from them. You know what I mean? Nope, I'm good.
Yeah, great people, great people. Cass Spencer is
But
one
yeah,
of the
they're
people
cool.
that, yeah, one of the people I graduated with. Really, really nice individual. Yeah.
Yeah, that your showcase, yeah, like Remy always says, man, that showcase is awesome and stuff. Is when they put it out, like what was it? It was y'all's class or class two that came out at the same time as the WWE pay-per-view. It was the one where the zombies came out with the Miz
That
and
was that was class two. That was class two.
yeah. I remember sitting here watching that, and I'm just like, yeah. Remy was like, yeah, that one was way better. And I was like, yes, yes. Like I'm cool with wrestling, I'm cool with stuff, like if they pull the zombies out around Halloweenish, I'm like, oh yeah. But it's like pulling Santa out in the middle of July, you know what I mean? Like really. You know what I mean? It ain't even, close to Christmas, man. Come on, man. Put Santa away for a while. Come on.
I think they were just making a lot of money there. I was like, wow, that movie budget, they really put a lot
Yeah.
into advertising.
Yeah, that's right. It was that Batista movie too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, but I mean, I guess it did work because I did watch that movie. You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
was a pretty good movie. It was a pretty good movie. It was a little long though, but yeah, I liked it.
It was another Netflix movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there's some stuff on Netflix, man. I need to watch the Castlevania. I think it was the new season or something came out.
I heard good things about Castlevania, but my Netflix ran out like a few months ago, and I just never
Mm.
renewed it. Another what was another? I don't know. I would watch Bob Ross a lot because he was
Ooh, okay.
a nice soothing voice to study
Hmm.
or go to sleep.
That's right. Yeah. Bob Ross. Yeah, I remember watching him as a kid. You know, what I mean, happy. These trees are happy trees, and all this stuff. Like, yeah, my sister to this day loves Bob Ross. She has like a Bob Ross keychain, little posters of him or whatever. Man, 'cause he was just so nice and just, oh yeah, let's go paint this and da.
Yeah, and then you learn he was a drill sergeant, and then you just
Da.
question a lot of things in life.
Yeah. Honestly, I remember watching those shows when I was a kid, and I remember literally trying like, okay, I got some paint and stuff. I'm going to do exactly what he does, and I'm like,
It's never like that.
no, nah. It's like, man, I should have known better. I can barely draw a stick figure. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and
how was that going to work?
he creates a whole landscape in 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It baffles me. Baffles.
Oh, I know. See, my aunt, she's an artist too. She's like that too. She can just like paint, and it's just like, how did I not get that talent? You know what I mean? That runs in the family, and I can't get that. Like, come on, man. Ah. That's like one of them things, man. I wish I could draw, and I wish I could sing, man. Oh man, if I could sing, man. Because I remember listening to people who could sing, like in school. They would always sing, the girls be like, oh yeah, and I'm like, I wish I could sing. Learn to sing.
Oh man, the Filipinos they love karaoke. A lot of us are singers, and I was a little lucky I could kind of sing, but compared to like everyone else, I'll just keep my mouth quiet. I'll just sit in the back and just clap for you. You're doing a great job.
There you go. See, I like to sing, but I can't sing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if Adele comes on my radio, I'm like, "Hello from the," I'll sing right along with Adele, man. I do not care. You know what I mean? Karaoke's
Yes,
cool,
sir.
man. I'm cool with karaoke. Yeah, I like that. I like Rock Hero, Guitar Hero, all that stuff, man. Rock Band, you gotta get on the mic, sing. Hey, it's all
Oh,
good,
Rock
man.
Band was something different with the microphone and the drum set. They were
Mhm.
ahead of the game.
That's right. Yeah, man. Actually, my Xbox, my gold stuff ran out the other day, and I was like, oh man, like the yearly thing, and yeah, every year I go on eBay and I get a digital code. I was like, yeah, let me do the thing. A couple hours or a couple minutes, it'll be in my email. I got emails like we're sending you the card and all, and it ain't gonna be here for like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh man, come
What
on,
a
man, this is
waste.
messed
That's
up,
a
man.
waste.
I
How
was like,
different.
man, I thought the digital was gonna get here, and it's like,
I'm gonna just walk to
okay.
CVS at this point and just buy the card.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh man, oh well. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just hook up. Maybe I'll go old school for a while, man. Throw my 360 on or the Super Nintendo I got, Break out my old PS1, you know what I mean? See if
Ooh.
my memory cards are still working. Get that Final Fantasy 7 thing going, man.
Yeah, some days I like to bring out the Nintendo 64 and just blow on the cartridge, make sure it works, and
Woo!
then play some Kirby, play some
Oh,
Super
nice.
Mario.
Oh man, yes. See, man, I wish they would come out with an N64 mini like they did with the Nintendo and the Super SNES, little mini one. The
Oh
N64 would be
yeah.
cool, man.
No, definitely. They had a bunch of fun games when I was a kid, just playing that, having some friends come over, going to their house, setting it up. It would definitely make them a lot of money. I would buy it personally.
That game, yeah, we used to play 007 and stuff, man. It'd be a bunch of us, man. We'd all get together, whoever was the
Mhm.
top last two, they would leave, and two other people would hop in, we'd do that. Nobody could be odd job, man, because odd job, I remember he would go up there, he'd shoot him, but it'd just go right over his head, man. It was like cheat code, man.
His
But
hitbox was definitely it was different.
yeah, yeah, that and there was a wrestling WWE No Mercy and WCW. It was something that the WCW game they used to have the Royal Rumbles and stuff, Battle Royals, and we just sit there and just yeah, have fun, man. It was just awesome.
Mm.
Oh man, yeah, those were the 64 was a good classic. Yeah, it was a good system. I love 64, man. So I do gotta ask, man. Wrestling in Jersey for Spartan Championship Wrestling, man. When's y'all's next show? Do you have one coming up, or
Oh,
when was y'all's last show?
we have one September 14th, I believe.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I believe our champion is defending. Uh the card's subject to change, so I can't really say if I'm on it or not. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. There's a lot of great talent there too. Jersey Muscle Society is our tag champions. I believe Casey Navarro is gonna be competing for the. I'm not sure if it's for the Our American title, but he's facing a wrestler named Double A Betterones, and he's definitely someone to watch too. He's an up and comer, and he has a lot of passion, and I think he's really gonna make it somewhere. So yeah, it's definitely a good show.
Oh, nice. He says September 14th.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Man, that's like in the middle of the week, isn't it?
I hope not, cause then I'm very wrong, and then I'll look foolish. 18th,
I think the
probably.
11th.
Probably
Because we have a
18th.
Yeah, it might be the 18th. Yeah, because we have a show on the 11th for 1CW, and that's Saturday.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, 14th. I was like, man, Tuesday. I was like, man, y'all taped it? We all on Fight TV, man. I want to check it out, man. See Dom Damien over there just, tearing people up, man. Just dispensing
September
justice in that ring.
September 19th. Yes, there we go. I
19th.
got the date
There
very
you go.
wrong.
Okay. Oh, it's all good. Yeah, September 19th, man. Spartan Championship Wrestling, man. Yeah, hopefully you're going to be there. Kicking butt. You know what I mean? Tearing it up. Oh, man, hopefully you're out there, man. So, since you've been at factory and stuff, man, what have you been using any of their stuff that they told you to stay in shape, like any of their nutrition stuff, like nutrition plans, weight plans for you or whatever? Have you been trying to stick to that as much as you can,
Yeah, it's definitely hard to stick with my nutrition, especially being living with my parents. They cook for me, and it's not exactly part of my meal plan. It's not
Yeah.
exactly the right amount of calories or carbs, but they cooked for me, so it's kind of rude if I don't eat it. And then
Hmm.
being back home with friends, they always want to go out or like just hang out, drink, or go to like some restaurant. A big thing with us is Korean barbecue, and I used to go like
Ooh.
before wrestling was I would go a lot, and now coming home it's just so hard not to go and eat everything and ruin my diet. But I've been keeping up with that. Once I got home, I saved up and bought the like the we had ankle like restraints. It's like it wraps around our ankles, and there's a band in between, and then I would keep up with the exercises. I would go to the track and do the same like cardio routines that we would do there in Georgia from time to time, and then I would try to go to the gym, but Blink isn't exactly the same environment as Nightmare Factory, But you got to do what you got to do.
That's right. That's right. Hey man, yeah, at least you're still doing the thing, man. You're out there kicking butt. You know what I mean? Trying to do your thing. I know, man. Man, before the pandemic, before everything used to close down, man, I used to love going to this Jamaican place and getting some jerk chicken, man. That was like, oh man, that was addicting. I just sit there, just like, oh, give me
Sounds
like 5 pounds of this. I'm just going to eat this.
That
Oh
sounds
man.
delicious. That sounds delicious. No,
Oh
you're
yeah.
making me hungry for stuff that's
Oh
not on
yeah,
my meal
yeah, it
plan.
is about dinner time. Yeah, because after this, I am going to do. I am going to make dinner. I'm either going to go get something real quick, order it or something, man. I'm going to do something. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that. Yeah. And then yeah, talking about Filipino food earlier and stuff. I'm like, oh man, I love Filipino food so much, but it doesn't love me. It
Oh,
hates me for some reason. Oh yeah, something with it. Like I eat
you got
lumpia
to
and
be
stuff. I'm
careful
like,
with some
oh
of the food. You got to be careful.
yeah. Yeah, I'll eat it. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. Because I used to have an ex-girlfriend, her mom, was from there. She was like, oh, this is all authentic. Da, 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 da. She would speak tag along. I think that's what it
Yeah,
was, right? Yeah.
Tagalog. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She was all speak that and stuff. Yeah. And I remember she would eat. I'm like, yeah, this is great. A couple hours later, I was like, well, like, okay, yeah, man. Oh man, it's great, but I don't know if I want to.
You got to be careful, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. I just gotta find. I gotta find the right stuff. I gotta find the right thing.
It's a journey. It's a journey.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah, I'll get something eventually, man. But yeah, man. Before I pass it on back to Remy, I do gotta ask, since you've been wrestling and all that stuff. Do you have any funny backstage or road stories you can share? Maybe somebody like you said forgot their gear or something, or maybe somebody was late, stuff like that. Or if you had to, you can change the name, protect the innocent.
Funny. Not not really funny that I could think of, because yeah, it's more local, and luckily, like I said, my old Taekwondo master would wrestle professionally. Oh, this is probably something. My old Taekwondo master used to be a professional wrestler, and he's actually one of the trainers at Spartan Championship, so that's why
Oh,
I
okay.
was able to go there, and that's why I've been there for a long time. So I thought it was really cool, like from Taekwondo to pro wrestling, and now that he's like keeping up, helping us keep up with our training. I think it's really awesome, and I another reason why I love pro wrestling.
So you're an old Taekwondo trainer, man. So he knows about you. So he knows you have those lethal kicks and stuff, man. So he knows what you're about, man.
Yeah, I just got to be careful because kicks are kind of being thrown a lot in professional wrestling nowadays.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, but yeah, you can work on it, man. Do whatever, man. Yeah, but yeah. But yeah. Before I pass it on back to Remy, I want to say, man, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Come on, chat with us, man. I definitely had a blast talking with you. Uh, I wish you nothing but the positive things to happen for you in your career, man. I hope you start wrestling all over the country. You know what I mean? Start collecting gold everywhere, just tearing up, kicking butt everywhere, man.
No. Thank you for having me. It's an absolute honor. Honestly, thank
Oh
you.
yeah, man, no problem.
Dom, thank you very much for this opportunity. We're really and truly grateful for you actually, taking time out of your busy schedule to be on our show. We know you're actually busy right now, planning your next step in your wrestling career and so on. And really and truly do, wish you all the best and hope you get to meet all your goals and even more as well. Best believe when I see you on AEW or WWE or Impact, I'm definitely gonna be like, yo, Rob, turn on your TV. Look who's on. It's Dom Damien. We just had him on the show, bro. The guy that won the first battle royal at the student showcase. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Don't worry.
And we're very proud. Like I said, go
If I
ahead.
make
My bad.
no, I'm sorry, but if I make it there, you guys are definitely going to be the first people to call for an interview.
Hey, we really appreciate that, man. So when we see our alumni guests on there on making appearances on, regardless of what the promotion is, we always shout them out, man. I mean, this is not like clout chasing or cap that we're talking or whatnot. We actually are very proud of all all you guys that graduate. We're very proud of the bodyguard Austin Green. I was like, yo, that's Austin Green. He's on there, and this is his second appearance. I know he had a match against Frank Kazarian, and I was like, yo, and then the Diamond Sheik was there, and I'm especially proud of the Diamond Sheik too because I don't know if you remember, but there was a guy in a Scooby-Doo uniform, and for those of y'all watching us, you're probably going to hear a lot more of this story, but it's because of how proud I am of how far they've gone and so on. There was a guy in a Scooby-Doo outfit, and we were like, that guy. For some reason, I was like, that guy is cool. I gotta call that guy. I gotta find out who he is. I like how he's standing out. And I thought that there were a couple that were talking about him. I thought he would have been one of those fans that were like, yeah, I'll do it for a certain fee. I'm popular now. But he was down to earth. He was like, yeah, I'm down to be on your show. And we talked to him and come to find out he was one of 3 brothers that were wrestling fans. And his eldest, he said his eldest brother would definitely come on. We talked to his eldest brother. And then the next thing you know, the eldest brother, like fast forward a couple months later, he's like, I'm training with the Nightmare Factory. And then he shows us a video. And then the next thing you know, he shows us like a picture. There's a picture of him graduating with the second class for that graduated from Nightmare Factory. And I'm like, yo, Diamond Sheik, he became the Diamond Sheik. And I was like, yo, Diamond Sheik, we gotta have you on the show, man. We want him, yo, congratulations. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that wrestling career, man. You're a pro wrestler now. You're not just because we have a segment called 15 Minutes of Fandom, which is where we interview fans. Mm-hmm. But we also have like the main segment like this, where we interview wrestlers like yourselves, referees, promoters, etc. And we're like, yo, Diamond Sheik, yo, congratulations, man. Well, let's make an interview happen, man. You know what I'm saying? And we had him on, and then he was like, yeah, my tag team partner is the bodyguard. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. And how we are is that if we know you got a tag team partner, we're going to want to interview that person too. So we hit the bodyguard Austin Green, and we made it happen. And then next thing you know, we see both them on AEW. I'm like, yo, I'm glad for y'all, man. I'm glad y'all definitely made it, man. Y'all definitely deserved it. But yeah, man, thank you very much for this opportunity. We really and truly are grateful for it. We're not just saying that. We always get excited when we get to talk to new people and whatnot as well. But before we shut the show down and let you go, where can fans find you on social media if they want to purchase merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you on social media when they want to book you for their shows?
All right, so I don't have merchandise as of right now, but you could find my social media at underscore we are Dom, I believe. No, we are Dom underscore. Uh, you can find me on Twitter. I am Dom underscore hi. Uh, yeah, hit me up. Definitely. I'm not really that active. I suck at social media, even in real life. So something that I need to change, but it's something that I need to do for this business. But yeah, no, thank you for having me. It's definitely cool to be here and hearing all these stories about all the other alumni, and I'm just happy seeing them there, seeing Rosario and AEW Dark 2 this past weekend, Dean
Yeah,
Alexander. It's just it's honestly just so it's an honor to say that I was in the same class with them. I went to the same school as people like Austin Green or Diamond Sheik. It's just it, it, it's a good time, and it makes me happy.
yeah, man. Y'all definitely do great work, and we're trying to get as much of y'all on the show, man. We're trying to get. Actually, we got I think this Sunday we got the Revenant.
Yes, one
The
of the
Revenant,
folk
he's
slam,
gonna be
one of
on
the
here.
people who draws that thing. Yes,
Uh,
great guy.
Josh Breezy says he got next. Josh Breezy, we heard you, we saw you. We gonna make it happen like a captain. But yeah, we're good. We're gonna try to get all of y'all, man. We got Cat Spencer, Dina Divinity. We're
Yes,
trying to
sir,
get.
God.
We even had y'all's referee, Paul Espinal, Paulie.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had him on there too, man. Yeah, yeah. So we're serious, man. I mean, and I'm also thankful that you're our second, Filipino guest because we had Ringside Rain, who
Mhm.
was the ring announcer for SummerSlam's pre-show. It was Big E versus I think Baron Corbin, and I've been looking for you. I've been trying to get because we don't care what ethnicity, religious background, gender, sexual orientation you are. We just want to talk wrestling. That's what we're trying to talk about. We don't even care if you're a Republican or a Democrat or independent party. We want to talk about wrestling. And I've been trying to find more like people of like Asian from the Asian community because I'm like, man, I feel kind of bad, man. I've had black, I've had white, I've had Latino, but no Asians on here. So I'm very glad that this worked out. I'm very happy. I'm hoping to get more people of different backgrounds. I still have yet to find a Guyanese fan from my own country, but thank you, man. We're very glad that we were able to make this happen. Um, and to those of you that actually are watching and want to be on the show, by all means, don't be afraid. Me and Rob don't bite. Kathy might give you a little bit of a nibble. Um, Kathy, we love you, even though you give us a lot of trouble. But definitely hit us up. Y'all message us and let us know. Say, hey, yo, Remy, yo, Rob, yo, Kathy, we'd like to be on the show, and we'll make it happen. We'll definitely find a day and time for y'all as well. But in the meantime, y'all make sure y'all follow Dom. Follow this man. If he got merchandise, go out and cop it because he doesn't just do this because he's a fan. He doesn't just do this for the money. He does this to entertain us, the fans, as well. So go ahead and follow this man. I'm serious. Support indie wrestling. If you don't support indie wrestling, you're gonna find a skip rope in your pocket for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because Rob won't eat all your food. And you see how skinny he is. He'll make it happen. But yeah, he's serious about that too. So definitely, but for real though, support these men and women in indie wrestling. That's where 99% of your AEW and WWE and Impact superstars come from. And it's just good to see somebody rise from that level to the next level. So support it all. But with that being said, it is time for us to go. But before we go, Rob Bass, the Mel Gibson to my Danny Glover, the Sean Spencer to my Burton Guster, the Eminem to my Royce the 5'9", and one more, the Charlie Haas to my Shelton Benjamin. Where can fans find you on social media if they want to be on the show, purchase merchandise? And where can bookers or promoters find you when they want to book you for your refereeing services as well?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at Rob_Base82, and then Facebook and YouTube Rob Base.
Awesome. And if you want to find me on on social media, not that I have anything cool to say, you can find me on Twitter under @TheRemyBlue. You can also find me on Facebook under Remy Blue. It's a picture of me at WrestleMania 28 with my good friend Adam. Shout out to my boy Adam. Our podcast is also on social media. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter under @Ringside Society. You can also find us on Facebook, which is one of the platforms where this episode is being streamed on. Just type in Ringside Society and you'll find our Facebook group, and just go ahead and follow us there. You can also find us on Twitch under @Ringside Society 2019. That's our other platform where this episode is being streamed. And you can also find us, of course, on YouTube. That's right. YouTube is also where this episode is being streamed. And we have many other, impressive interviews, like the Diamond Sheik interview, the Bodyguard Austin Green. We had Nan Boteo on our show, and also his cousin Haya Lobo, and many other impressive interviews. And we have more to come. As a matter of fact, you want to know another reason why y'all should follow us on YouTube, and don't just subscribe to all the videos, because this coming Wednesday we will be having Frank. Oh, you don't know who Frank is? Remember that guy that got emotional when CM Punk came on AEW? That Frank. Yes, Frank will be joining us on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 4 p.m. for my people on the West Side. So make sure you definitely join us for that. But until then, thank you for everybody thank you to everybody that joined us tonight. We really and truly appreciate it. Shout out to Miss Jen and her daughter Alicia, the Warrior Princess, our Twitch mods, keeping the bad guys and the bad bots out and the bad girls out too. And to those of you that are gonna listen to us later on, thank you very much in advance. And to those of you that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, I'm very sorry, but like myself in the Golden Corral and Rob Bass at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania, we ain't going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. So that being said, we here just want everybody to know that we here at Ringside Society are very well aware that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. We're definitely not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the first ever Student Showcase Battle Royale winner, Dom Damien. What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. So make sure you join us this Wednesday for another exciting episode. It's a 15 minutes of fandom episode, but it's still exciting. And until then, we're still going through a pandemic. So stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.